Well, welcome back to the channel, guys. Never too old. In this episode I'm going to be fitting the wood burning stove. Before I can do any fitting of the actual stove, I need to fireproof the area it's going to be in. And so I bought this vermiculite fireboard, which can withstand temperatures of up to 1100 degrees and is used in lining pizza ovens and multi-fuel stoves as well as fireplaces. It's from a place called Stove Wizard, which I think is both on Amazon and eBay. I got mine from eBay. Unfortunately, as you can probably see, it broke in transit and it broke in two pieces. These came in two pieces. This piece broke in transit, that piece broke in transit. But I used, and I will be using this to fix it. I used this Evo-Stik fire cement, which protects up to 1200 degrees. It's a sealant, temperature resistant fill and repair sealant. Alright, so this is our stove. You open that up. There's a little ashtray that comes out here. This guy was £130 off Amazon. It has a wee dampener at the front so you can have it high or low. I'm not impressed with the fact that there's not an awful lot of place to drill. I mean, I could drill into those feet, but what I think I'm going to do is actually get that stuff that I fitted and put on my batteries and have two drill holes here. So it's called Multi-Purpose Fixing Band, and I'm thinking if I can feed that through the legs, because there is a slit, it'll have to be twisted, but this stuff is quite strong, and then drill that in to the fireboard. It's going to be a bit of a tight squeeze at the back there with the other fireboard in. Let me see if I can't put it in and see what it looks like. She says, hoping to God she doesn't drop it. Yeah, it will be quite a tight squeeze. I'm now wondering if I shouldn't get another piece of good solid wood and make this front a little deeper. Okay, so I did the smart thing and extended the counter. So we now have a little shuffle around, because this means this big fella will now be the bottom. Like so. I've had to order more fireboard. Well, it is what it is. That means that when we lift and try not to wreck our stove, she sits farther forward safely on that board, which isn't going anywhere because I didn't take this bottom board off. So this is a good thick piece of bottom board here, and then the plywood attached on top of that. That's proper timber, then the plywood attached onto that, then the fire onto there, which then, as you can see, means the flue is much farther away. It's hard to tell at this angle, but believe me, it's much farther away from the wall. So I found the roof of the van. You can't see it's not insulated, and thank God, no surprise wires, because that was always on the cards. And yes, it got a tad messy. You want to see me? I'm like an early snowman. It's everywhere, flipping everywhere. So yeah, I might go in for lunch first and then come back and tackle this pile of crap. Crying out loud. But yeah, it had to be done. So now I need to get the ladder out, have a look up there, and hope to God I don't need to cut through any roof rack. Well, we'll see. But I think that's a big enough, considering the size of the Flue. So let's just have a look at that. Okay, so I'm going to put the Flue up here. I've got loads of room. So that's the Flue. So she's well away from anything. I mean, this is a rib, which is great. I can certainly cover that bit up a wee bit and cover this bit up a wee bit. That's a rib, so she's, you know, she's going to be sitting approximately there. So she's miles away from the fireboard. Will be coming up here. So she's miles away from. You can see that. It's very hard holding the pole and the camera and trying to see at the same time. There we go. Much cleaner, right? Okay, so I'm going to flip this over. Cover it in the fire cement and then lay it down here to set, and then get on with the other two. Flip me, my hand's killing me after all that filing. Okay, so, and yes, it took a lot longer than it looked. So these are metal shells. I had like metal shells that I got from IKEA ages ago, which I'm obviously not going to be able to use in the van. And I was thinking, after I put the oven up here, I don't know whether you can see that, but there's like great big sort of divots in the fireboard. And I didn't like the idea of, over time, with driving and so on, that was going to deteriorate. So what I was thinking, or what I did think, was, and there's a few good, you know, reasons that this will work, or bonuses or whatever. First of all, it saves my fireboard, which is, you know, the main thing. Second of all, it adds extra support to the oven. Third of all, it covers this crack, and I don't mean aesthetically, but when I put the oven on here, because it's cracked and I put it back together with fire cement, it's very slightly not even, so I didn't like that. Whereas now I have that there in the way, it definitely covers the crack, and it'll mean that the oven will, I keep on calling it oven, the wood burner, for flip's sake, the wood burner will sit flush, straight, whatever you want to call it. Wanted to leave enough room at the front here to put a little strip of fireboard, but as well as that, now because this has this little edge on, which I didn't plan, but there you are, it will catch any ash as well, or falling debris, which is great. So we'll have a double protection there. Okay, so I'm going to get the fire cement and I'm going to very lightly set these on here, because I'm also going to be bolting the wood stove into this and the board beneath. So I'm not overly worried about this being super secure, because it's going to get bolted in anyway. And yeah, I've filed those down quite well, but I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't bet your life on it that it wouldn't cut you. I'm just going to take my time doing this. feel we're into the wood. Right. My glasses are all steaming up. Can't see what I'm doing. That's that one in. Okay, so they are going nowhere, which is, oh god, yep, exactly what I wanted. So, 2 back ones done, I'll get the 2 front ones done, and then we'll put the stove back up and see where we're at. Okay, I don't know where we were, but the camera turned off. It's a locking nut, so once it's on, it won't be coming off. Oh, she's holding, that's good. So, that's all in. To see if I can get these bent over and get my bolts in, which is going to be so much fun. Not. But I had to do it that way, I had no other option. So I'm going to thread this bolt through here and with great difficulty get it through the 2, because it is going to be a pain in the ass, and I knew it was going to be a pain in the ass, but if I separate them it makes it a little bit easier. Yeah. Okay, the camera cut out again. I don't know what the hell's going on. It fell over in the wind earlier. I think I might have damaged it. So I don't think you saw what I just did there, but I'll just give you a quick spin again. Hold on to the nut and then just tighten it with the screwdriver. Okay, I'm not over tightening. Alright, husband just knocked on the window to let me know lunch is ready, so I'm going to go in, get my lunch done, and then come back and finish this off, and then hopefully that will be the stove in and secure on all 4 legs. Alright, so that's where we're at. Hopefully you can see that. The bolts are in. Move this way around a bit. They're all the way in, and yes, at some point I'll cut that excess off, but she certainly isn't going to topple over and fall off. Okay, so I have cut some cling film and put a cross on my flue to get a centre point. So what I'm going to do now is I have tied a bit of a knot to the end of some string, and I'm going to hang the string from the top to try and get the centre point, so I can get the centre point in the roof. Okay, so that's the centre, or as close to it as I can get. The other thing I'm not going to do is use a hole cutter, because I haven't had very good experience with hole cutters. They just don't like me. So I'm going to try a different method of drilling holes. I mean, this was never going to be an easy job anyway. And yes, to say I'm crapping myself to drill a hole in the roof would be the understatement of the century. But you know, what could possibly go wrong? Into the general, and I'm going to end up cutting on that lip, and I really didn't want to do that, but it is what it is. So I've put a bit of cling film on the top of my flue so we don't have any metal bits flying out, and I'm using the smallest drill bit that I have just to get us started. Right, one hole in the roof. Oh, my heart's in my mouth. You know what? I don't care who you are. Drilling holes in your roof is terrifying. I'm now going for a bigger drill bit to get that hole a wee bit bigger. Alright, bigger hole in the roof. Now I'm going to swap my drill bits back again and do 4 small holes on each of my marks. I actually feel physically sick, do you know that? It's all about being never too old and brave and just taking the leap and going for it, but it still doesn't stop your ordinary instincts from going, are you friggin' nuts? Right, and outside is a glorious day. It is actually a perfect day to do this. It's cold, but the sky is as clear as a bell and the sun is shining, so I'm really hoping, well no, I'm going to get this done today. I'm going to get it all done today. I have to get it all done today, otherwise I'm going to have a wet van if it rains. It's just a bit awkward up there, so I need to take the drill up and drill some more holes. I'm not going to bore you to death with that. I'll bring you back when the hole's cut. One hole cut in the roof. It's a horrible, ugly, raggedy hole, but it's a hole. And the pipe fits through it, which of course is the most important thing. So in we go. So I'm going to go up there with the file now and clean that up a little bit. I'm not going to kill myself. Just get the rough edges off and then get the cap fitted, which I will take you up the roof to do. We have our cap, which is going to sit here approximately. Now it's very high up at the moment, but I have some mastic and Trevor is out buying some bits and pieces, including some translucent silicone, so I'm going to put some of that on. Might not get around to doing that today, but we'll see. It's already approaching 3 o'clock. It's getting a bit cold now, but I need to get this on because I can't have a hole in the van. So what I need to do is take these bolts off first of all, so I can see what the bloody hell I'm doing, and try not to drop any down the floor. That will be good, wouldn't it? Alright, so no matter what I'm doing right now... Oh. Wow. There's a lot of plates on this, isn't there? So I know I'm thinking that that does actually perhaps go underneath, which is going to be a royal pain in the ass, and I'm not even sure I'm actually going to use that one underneath. I might just go straight into the roof. And what I need to do is get it in line. Right, I'm going to put this back in because get rid of that, don't need it for now anyway. I did this downstairs so I didn't have to fucking worry about the ladder, excuse my language, and doing this while standing on a ladder is not ideal because it's a very, very tight fit. Now the good thing with this cap is, I'm just going to leave it like that. The good thing with this cap is you cut it, you can see the ridges, so if your flue is bigger than this, you just measure how big your flue is and then you cut it to size. We bought this cap specifically because it had a 6-inch starting point, which is what the flue is. So that's about as central as I can get it. Let's just take the plunge, shall we? Now these holes aren't big enough, but I don't really, oopsies, care about that. Just noticed something that I didn't notice before. This metal bends, so I wonder if I need the mastic at all. I might need some silicone, but I might not need the mastic. Yeah, that's handy, isn't it? Does this bend as much, or is this just the plate that you put on and get tight? Alright. Oh, yeah. It was gonna be, wasn't it? Oh, I don't know what I'm gonna make that. Yeah. Yeah, I might need to re-drill that from underneath. Okay. You should definitely be big enough. Yeah. Okay, so I've just gone back and looked at the original purchase and realised that it was actually a tent out, so I don't need either of those rings. Those rings are really just to secure it if it's in a canvas, which is great. I think what I am going to do is put a bit of mastic under. It's just really sticky stuff, but I'm going to give me a good tight seal anyway. I'm also putting silicone on this, so just to make sure underneath. Yeah, you know what, I'm going to put it all the way around and then I'm going to dig holes in. Alright, now fingers crossed. They should all go in. I can feel my fingers at this point. So I need to go inside and screw these from inside. Right. I'm going to go down here and tighten these up. Okay, so that is hair tight on with the mastic underneath. I now need to silicone all around the edges. And there we go. In the middle. As best as I could get it anyway. But again, this is very flexible, so that's good. And then I'm going to get the top part of the Flue up here and then put the little cap on. So, but I think for now I'm going to go and have a wee cup of coffee because it's bloody freezing. But I definitely need to get the cowl and the hat on before nightfall, although it's not given for rain tonight, but you never know. And anyway, I don't want anything flying in. nesting in my van. Okay, nearly done. I've got the silicone here, fire resistant clear stuff, so I'm going to, I know the bolts are in the mastic, but I am going to smother the bejesus out of this. I'm sure that's not an expression, but whatever. Right, last bit, well for tonight anyway, so this should fit on here, so I'm going to loosen it. Yeah. My fingers. Right, I don't know how far away you were when I got it on, but it's on anyway. So she's tight, she is tight, and then the silicone is on, and as you can see it's very dark. So let's go in and have a look what she looks like from the inside. I'm very happy with it so far. Obviously she won't wobble about so much when she's attached to the actual fire. Okay, so I have run out of time. I'm not going to be able to do the metal plate on the roof. Realistically it's mainly aesthetic, to be honest with you anyway. That is the chimney in, the flue is in. I have also around the top have put fire cement covering the insulation. I don't have any insulation at the back obviously, oopsies, and there is no insulation on that side because it's a rib. Alright, so moment of truth. I'm going to light her up and see what happens. Alright, I've just opened the door there. So obviously she started to have the air fan on as well for airflow. And that looks like that's us starting to light. In the end, it is quite windy outside, which is a good thing because we've got air coming in through the door and the fan, and obviously the holes at the top of the chimney shoot flue, not shoot. So yeah, that's us crackling away. So obviously there's no heat out of it yet because she's literally only just started, but I can already feel how warm she's going to get. That's hot enough. You wouldn't want to hold your hand on that for too long. It is hot enough. I've only put 2 or 3 sticks in. These are probably too big. I couldn't find anything smaller to hand because the house looks like a disaster zone with boxes and bags and crap, and I'm getting really tired. I didn't sleep very well last night because I was like, we're not going to get it done on time, we're not going to get it done on time. So here we are. What are we, Thursday, and we've got to be out by Sunday, and it's the end of Thursday at night outside, as you can see. So yeah, that's really me. I'm going to close that over now and let it burn itself out. And just to show you, we got our first cushion back today, which I'm so pleased about. The lady did it on a very quick turnaround. She's fantastic. So we got the other cushions up to here, and I don't know whether we'll get all the... Well, it wasn't her fault at the end of the day. Blame that wonderful courier service beginning with E and ending in I, who had my material for 2 entire weeks. I absolutely shit you not. In their depot for 2 weeks. Don't ask. So it wasn't the eBay seller. They were just amazing and wonderful and couldn't be more helpful. And you know, it wasn't my poor seamstress who's now, God love her, been put under pressure. But it goes really well, doesn't it? With the dark wood and the red and all that there over there. Right. Well, that's me. I will bid you farewell at the end of this video, and while you watch those nice toasty flames slowly going out. If you enjoyed the content, please give us a thumbs up and maybe subscribe if you're not already. And yeah, give us a shout in the comments and say hi, or tell me what you did like or didn't like about the video. It's always nice to hear your comments. Always remember, you're never too old. Bye.